Super. Thank you, Val. Okay, we're going to start with the part that you probably all have been waiting for and that we build up to. How can you set up and build your own Turning Blue awareness training? So Rose already explained how the decision tree works. I'm going to walk you through the Fisheries and Aquaculture module, which is one of the first ones you can choose. So what did we do and how did we set it up? So what we wanted to do is first catch their attention. So we were talking about or opening the floor with which seafood do you know, which fish do you like to eat, something that we can establish a connection with. It actually went really well. They were starting to talk and they also were establishing connection between each other. So it kind of set the scene for the rest of the training. And they actually knew quite a lot. You have to steer them in the right direction, but everyone already came across seafood, fish, and that's how you can then later on connect them back with what they said in the beginning. So if somebody is mentioning the kibbeling, you can already start explaining it's not a fish. Or you can also maybe mention something that you probably that you're pretty sure of that they will know about or that they have already tried.
Can I? Just a short note. You don't really need to be on your laptop while we do this. And it's a bit annoying for us to look at the laptops and the phones. I always say this at the beginning of the training when I'm with the youngsters, but I'm now saying it to the grown-ups as well. Please, we're here now, we're giving you this information. Please make the most of it by following it. And if you really have to have a meeting, then go outside for a bit and do it there, because this feels not so nice for us. Thank you.
All right. So what we also did is we gave them an overview over the global capture of fish, and we also summarized the fish species and seafood that is most commonly eaten in our country. So like you already see here, it is all about the Netherlands. So the fisheries and aquaculture module is probably the one that you need to adapt the most. So make sure to, when you set up your training, keep a lot of spare time to work on this, because this costs a lot of time to research which fish species are eaten in your country and also more importantly are caught in your country. Or probably in your countries, which is more important also, or equally important, is aquaculture. That's a section that we didn't put a lot of attention to, because in the Netherlands, aquaculture, and especially the job chances you have there as a youngster, they're really minimal. So we wanted to provide them with a lot of information about jobs which are tangible for them, which they can get started straight away, and not promise them anything that they would need to study like 5 years for, because this is not what we want to achieve. So in the Netherlands, we have a,
I want to add a small thing on the previous slide.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Because, sorry for interrupting you.
No.
But it's a small part on didactic, on didactics. The question that you ask as a first question is a really important question. It's not only to get them started, to have some interaction, but it's really important that it's a question where they have answers on. Because when you're learning something for the first time, your first impression needs to be a positive impression. So please don't ask a hard question, because then you start the training with, oh, I don't know jack shit about this topic. And you want them to get in this growth mindset by thinking, oh, I thought fishery, it's so new for me. But I already know this. Wow, I can do something, because we're dealing with insecure youngsters. So please make an easy question. Ask a question, but actually you know it's not a question. They know really important stuff.
And also maybe also put on more information onto this topic. Don't cut them. Don't cut them off. Like if they are talking about something which might not be 100% the right answer or a related answer to what you're asking, just go with the flow. Just go with it. Don't cut them off and say like, oh, but this is not relevant in our context. No. Also, what we experienced, a lot of the youngsters that we were training, they had a migration background, and so they would mention whole other species that we maybe in the Netherlands not commonly eat. So just deal with it and go with it and make something nice out of it, and not punish them for saying something which might not be the answer that you were looking for.
Well, yeah, great thing with cultures, and also when you're working with neurodiversity people, sometimes connections can be really far-fetched for us, but in their mind, it's a normal association with the topic. So also be positive then, because otherwise they're falling back in this, oh, I'm always the bad one in class because of my autism, ADHD, whatever. But yeah, be positive.
Yeah. Just be happy that they're engaging with you. Don't be critical about what they're saying. Yeah, like I said, how we set up our specific training on fisheries and aquaculture was really based on the Netherlands. But what you could do is look at which fisheries exist and in which scale they exist. In the Netherlands, we have small-scale fishery, but we also have the huge pelagic freezer trawlers. That's not something that I expect in all the countries, so you might only focus on the small cutters and the small-scale fisheries. And like I said, aquaculture might be much more important in your context than it is in the Netherlands. So yeah, there is a lot of research needed in that aspect for you. And yeah, like I said, connect it back to what you did in the beginning. So when you are talking about the fisheries, couple it back to the fish species that were named in the beginning. So you can, for instance, start the topic with, oh, you mentioned this fish species. Actually, this is how the boat looks like it's being caught with, and this is the fisheries that stands behind it. So make it visual and connect it back to what they said in the beginning. So you have a red line that goes through the whole training. And in general, like I said, you have to adjust it a lot. And what also costs a lot of time, and which is information that is not super easy to retrieve, is the salaries. So make sure, like we said in the beginning, make it relevant for them. Look up the salaries, because this is one of the first questions they're going to scream at you. Like, oh, but how much do we earn then? And you want to have the correct ciphers and numbers for them. Yeah. And something else which is also really important, we mainly focused on jobs, or only focused on jobs which are achievable to do without any education, which takes longer than, I don't know, a few weeks. For instance, in the Netherlands, you can start at the lowest position on deck, but you need the basic safety training like we saw yesterday, and a medical certificate that you're fit for working on sea. And be honest about that. Also be honest that there's costs, but that there might be also a chance that it is covered by the employer. Yeah, don't keep it a secret, but just make sure that they know what they need and that it's jobs that they can do with like these minimum requirements, but not a job that they would need to sit in school for, because usually they're not really happy if they hear they have to go to school and that they have to take exams. And yeah, also mention that the exams that they might have to encounter, that they're really doable and that they're really practical oriented. That's really important for them as well. And like I said, really make the salary a big thing. Of course, it's also about making them passionate about it, but sometimes the money can be an incentive to make them passionate about the topic itself. And for them, of course, it's also important to get back on track when they're getting out of prison, and money is a great factor to achieve that. So yeah, that's, I think, the most important things on fisheries and aquaculture. And like I said, aquaculture is something that you should maybe also pay attention to, but then again, make sure it's not a job that you can only obtain when you have a university degree. And what we also did, which worked really, really well, tell them that they can continue growing within the industry. Don't put the focus on that, but say like, oh, if you keep on going within the industry, you can achieve this and that, and those are the benefits related to it. Oh, no, it's not agriculture, it's aquaculture.
Oh, okay. When I started, I had no idea what it was.
Yeah, so it was the same situation that we encountered with youngsters. So they were really actually intrigued by it. We also, that's maybe also something that's nice to mention, even though they went into the direction of maritime sector that we didn't have like too many realistic chances. We told them that, but still we didn't cut them off because we thought enthusiasm for the maritime sector itself is already a great achievement. We were honest about it. We said like, hey, aquaculture, it's difficult. You're probably not gonna be able to start straight away and find a job, but we also didn't want to be restrictive in that too much. Because like I said, if you cut them off, they again get like this hesitant feeling, you might lose them, and that's not what we want to achieve.
Aquaculture is farming of things in the ocean. So can be seaweed, can be fish, can be... In the Netherlands, we have the mussel fisheries, and we call it fisheries because it's a part of... First part is fishing, and the second part is farming. So there's always a bit of a choice, like is it fishing or is it farming? But that's the most aquaculture that we have. But I know, for instance, in Portugal, seaweed is big, but also I think a lot of fish aquaculture is happening. Here, probably carp, because they eat carp everywhere, so I guess carp might also be...
Oysters?
Yeah, oysters in Portugal.
So these are all things that you can farm, and then it's aquaculture.
It can be done in sea, but also on land.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Okay, do you have any questions on the aquaculture fisheries module? Yeah.
Is there a slide where you present them with, this is, I like the slide so much where you can see, okay, you can become an assistant, and then you pay that much, and you become a captain, and you pay that much. Is that in your presentation?
Yeah, not in this one, but we can show it later. Okay. But yeah, we made it really visual. Maybe it's nice to explain it. Yeah, so we had like we had two different kinds of ship. One was presentable for the cutters and one for the big ships. And then we were searching for cartoon characters and put them there and said, okay, those are the available positions. And then we had an arrow drawn and it said, okay, for this you would need the medical certificate and the basic safety training. So this is something you could start with straight away. And the other positions exist as well. And you can maybe start those jobs if you are in the industry for that many years, but you would need to have like an education for this. So we still said, okay, those exist, but we focus on this because those are the ones that you can get started with straight away. Yeah, and what we also did, we gave like an overview over the weekly agenda when it comes to small-scale fisheries and about the way longer agendas when it comes to being on a pelagic freezer trawler, and said, okay, this is how your week or month would look like. So we said, like you explained, Sunday night you go on a hunt, and then you come back on Friday and you have the weekend off. Just so they also get a bit of an idea how their daily life would look like. And also something that worked very well, that if you stay home, you still get salary. And that's something they really didn't comprehend. Like, huh? I can sit on the couch and still I'm being paid. So yeah, that's also worth mentioning, I think.